welcome to my channel. My name is Yvonne and my channel is all about getting back to the basics of good online ESL teaching, as well as helping new interested teachers get through the hiring process. And that's exactly what I'm talking about today. I'm going to talk about how to get through your mock class. This video is all about what you need to know before you start your mock class, as well as how to teach your mock class. I'm going to be giving you tips and tricks and showing you how I would teach it. Now, if you have started the hiring process and you did not start with a mentor or a coach or use anybody's referral code and you would like to use mine, then please reach out to me at heymsk01@gmail.com, and I would love to help you out with that, and I can tell you what you need to do so that I can become your mentor. Grab a seat because this one is going to be a long one. You might want some coffee or some tea, maybe a snack. Grab some sticky notes or a sheet of paper to write notes down for yourself so that you can remember everything that I'm going to be throwing at you and telling you and explaining to you, so that you have all the information that you need to be successful and pass this mock class. I'm going to take you through the level 2-3 mock class. You are going to have 2 lessons that you need to prepare for. Now they're 10 slides each, and you will have to get ready for both, and your mentor will choose which one you do when you start the mock class. So just make sure that you know exactly what you're doing for each. And before we even start talking about how to teach those lessons, I'm going to talk about your setup, okay? So I'm going to just let you know what you need. First of all, you want a clean background. Don't sit somewhere where you have a lot of clutter, a lot of distractions. That's not what you want. People walking in back of you. No, keep it simple, keep it neat. Put your name somewhere, okay, so that the student can see your name if ever they want to say something to you and use your name. So that's very important that you have your name visible in your background. You also want good lighting. So a good thing to do is put a lamp in front of you. Don't have light behind you. Don't sit in front of a window, because you're going to have all this light casting a shadow over your face. So either sit in front of a window, having light coming in, or shine a lamp right at you so that you are well lit up and the person can see you and see what you're doing and what you're saying. The next thing you also want to think about is having or finding headphones. So you can choose wireless ones, or maybe you want to be plugged right in. You can also use earbuds if you only have earbuds from your, I don't know, from your phone, like I have my iPhone ones. You can also use these. And then the last thing that you need is a stable internet connection. So if that means you need to plug into your with your internet cord, you do that to make sure that you don't lose your connection. If it means sitting closer to your router, you can do that too. Just make sure that you don't lose connection and there's no lag when you are teaching. Now let's talk about what you need for this mock class. So the first thing that you're going to need is a whiteboard. Now you might have a whiteboard like myself right here. I also have one back here, but it's better if you can hold one as well. If you say, I don't have a whiteboard, I can't go out and get one right now, that's okay. You can get creative. You can use a binder. So some binders have a sleeve, so you can put a white sheet behind it, and then you can write on your binder and you can explain, you can write whatever you want and show the student. If you don't have that, you can also use page protectors. These are all different options for whiteboards, as long as you can write on something. You can also just use paper. It's just not the handiest thing, but if that's all you have, make sure that you have paper and something hard so that you can put it up against when you're writing. So the next thing is you will need 3 props. You will have to use props to engage the child and to help the child understand what you are talking about. Now, depending on the lesson that you need to teach, you will have different props. Some props will be 2D and some props will be 3D. Having both is very good. A whiteboard is also a prop, so that's already one right there. Get a ball if you have a ball. You could also have a picture of a ball, so that's a 2D prop. So you think of all the different things that you could be bringing to the lesson. Now, you don't want too many because you don't want to spend your whole time just using props, but for sure you're going to need a ball if you're doing the first lesson, which is the lesson A, which when you're teaching ball and throw. So you're also going to want a kite. Now that's much harder to show in 3D, so most likely you will use a flashcard. You might already have one like this, or I just made my own. I just drew one. It's pretty simple and I wrote the word in the back. So you can make your own 2D props as well, or even 3D props. I don't know how creative you are. So make sure that you have some 3D props and some 2D props. You're also going to want to have people, because when we are conjugating verbs and he, she, you want a boy and a girl as an example. Now you can use puppets. I have Meg and Mike right here. I also have them in 2D, and I'm going to link resources for you. So you can just, again, go in the description box and get some free resources from me. Or again, if you are choosing me as your coach, I have even more resources for you to choose from. So just a little FYI. And if you, again, you don't need Meg and Mike, just a boy and a girl. I have mom and dad. I could be using these as well to show she and he. So just make sure that you have at least 2 people for he, one for he, one for she, and a kite, a ball, and then if you're doing lesson B, get ready for lesson B, also have a doll. The next thing you need is a reward system. There is a reward system built into the lesson, but many teachers choose to use their own reward system. And when you are hired, most teachers, I mean, I'm thinking like 99% of teachers use their own reward system. So you might as well start right now. You can choose to use 3D or 2D rewards. I always start, when I have a new to me student, I always start with cookies. They get cookies when they do a good job, and I show them. They have these cookies that they can get. You can also give them animals if you want. If you have some different animals, you will tell them that they get an animal when they do a good job. Totally up to you. I highly recommend keeping it gender neutral because you just never know if you're getting a boy and a girl. So going with food or animals is a safe bet. And the last 3 things that I think you should bring would be your phone or a tablet. I'm going to explain why later, but it could come in very handy. A mouse, a computer mouse if you have one. And then also just some water. Just in case you get choked up and you can't get rid of that cough, water, best friend. So get all those things ready before you start your mock class. Okay, now we're going to talk more about the lesson. So I want you to go look at the lesson objectives. What is the objective of the lesson that you are teaching? Is it to teach how to say a sentence? Is it to teach how to say a word? Make sure that you know what the objective is, because that's what you're going to ask the student to practice and to be able to do on their own. You also want to keep in mind that the student, I mean, it's going to be an adult on the other side of the screen, but they're going to be acting like a 5 to 7-year-old. So they're still very low in English knowledge, but they do have some. So they will know how to say their name, maybe not in a complete sentence, but they will know how to answer. And then also maybe, I'm fine or good. They know a few words. So that will help you. They're not, at level 0. They do have a few words that they know. And I believe that is sent to you by VIPKid. You should be able to have a little bit of information there. I want to explain to you how the lessons work with VIPKid. Now, every lesson in the corner, every slide in the corner has a letter, usually. And that is because they want you to know what you need to be doing for that slide. It follows the IPAED structure. The I is a slide where you're going to introduce something new. So the student hasn't been introduced to this before. So maybe it's the word ball, maybe it's the word doll, whatever it is, you introduce it to the student and you have the student repeat. P is for practice. This is where you want the student to practice more and more on their own. So you're gradually releasing them and letting them practice more on their own without your help as much. Apply, this is when, so the A, if you see an A, it means apply. So this is where you're just prompting them to give you an answer, maybe asking the question, and then they should be able to give you a complete answer. Obviously, you're going to correct them and help them if they can't, but you're really hoping that by this slide, the third slide, they can do it on their own. That is the goal. So you're going to have to do this for when you teach them the word ball and how to use it in a sentence, as well as the verb throw. I'm just talking about lesson A right now, but you're going to follow those 3 steps for ball and the verb. Now at the end, you're also going to have a slide where it says extend, E. So this is where you can ask a few more questions that you don't know if the student already knows, but you're hoping that hopefully they can answer it. You're looking for that knowledge that they might have, and you're helping them create sentences or putting it together with what they learned today. Finally, demonstrate this. You won't see this in your mock class, but this is where the student can show that they really fully understand what they have learned and they can use it independently, no problem. So that's just the structure that VIPKid uses, and you will find these letters in the top right corner. The IPA is also often referred to as I do, we do, you do. So I do it, you watch me, I model. We do it, together we practice, and then you do it, you apply it. So talking, about the student. So if you hear that, or if they write that, your mock class mentor might also write that in feedback, the I do, we do structure, then that's what they're referring to, the IPA. Okay, and you're also going to need to look at your time. You have 10 minutes for 10 slides. So you're going to want to average about 1 slide a minute. Now it's not always perfectly 1 minute a slide, but you're hoping to stay around that time. So make sure you have your phone near you, also to help you out with timing if you want to put a timer on. That's totally up to you, but keep an eye on that time and on the slide that you're on. And lastly, use TPR. TPR is total physical response. So you're going to be using it on every single slide. VIPKid wants to see you use TPR. Some of it is instructional, so it's when you are teaching, you're going to use TPR. So that means that you're explaining with your hands and not just keeping your hands down here and speaking. And then there's also educational, where you're trying to get the student to mimic you. So if, for example, you would teach run, you say, you run. So you're trying to get the student to run with you so that they do it. And then the next time they should make that connection with, oh, this is run. Oh, yes, that's right. Or vice versa. If they see you do this, they might remember the word run. So it really helps them understand. Instructional is when you are teaching and you're helping them understand the words that you're saying. I'm just going to give you a quick example. I speak Swiss German. So if I were to speak in Swiss German to you without using my hands like this, wie heißt du? Would you have any idea what I just said? Was it a question? Was it an instruction? You don't know. But if I say, wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? So, dun, 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 you're probably putting 2 and 2 together. You're saying, she's asking what is your name, right? What? I'm doing this, I'm questioning it. I can use like a label here, right, for name, or I can point to my own name and then do, you. So I'm helping you understand what I'm asking you or what I'm telling you to do. So this is why TPR is super important, and this is why VIPKid really wants you to at least do 1 TPR a slide, at least 1. Now, the most common ones are cupping your ear to show that you are listening and that you are wanting the student to answer, as well as pointing to your mouth to show that, look at my mouth, I am speaking, this is what I want you to do. So, my name is Dora. And this is something that I do often, is I actually count out the words so that they remember how many words are in that sentence. Or if I whisper it, and then that will prompt them and they might finish is Dora. So that's another way of using TPR. Walk is another. There's so many, and you don't need to know them all at first. That was the number one thing that I had to work on when I first started 3 years ago. But I just wanted you to know that you do need to use it on every single slide. Okay? I'm going to be showing you what I do, but also explaining why I do it, or explaining what I'm doing on the slide. It would be really helpful if you brought up your own slides that VIPKid sent you, so that you can watch at the same time what I'm doing. You are always modeling first, then you are slowly releasing them and letting them speak more. By the end of the third slide, they should be able to say everything on their own. That is the apply slide. So you're doing that for the vocabulary and the verbs. And then you just do a little quick slide with phonics words. Remember to use TPR in every single slide. Don't just do this and this. That's not really enough anymore. Make sure that you're showing throw, that you're showing ball, that you're showing he throws. So you're actually using your body, and then also the props that you brought, so you can actually show them what he does. He throws. Woo! And use simple language. So smile, just smile, be happy, have fun with this. If you don't pass the mock the first time, it's okay. Think of it as a practice. Just you're practicing, so that you will be more than ready when you do pass your mock class. You will be more than ready to actually teach. Again, if you need a coach, if you need somebody to help you, reach out to someone. I would be more than happy to help you. I've helped a few people get through the hiring process, and I have resources for you that you can use. I have more videos that you can watch to help you and be successful with VIPKid, because I know you can do it. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, any questions, if you would like to get in touch with me, just reach out to me at heymissK01@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm hey.missk. And then leave me a comment below, subscribe, and like this video if it helped you. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye.